It's 5. So this is a very come on in, John. How you doing, sir?
Good. You all right?
All right, all right. This is a very informal meeting. I want to make sure that I put it out to everybody, gave people enough time to. I hear you, baby girl. It's a very informal meeting. I just want to make sure. I think it's our responsibility as a city government to let y'all know what's going on with things outside, even outside of council meeting. So we didn't necessarily have to do this meeting, but we just wanted to make sure that people had an opportunity to know what's going on. Council member Ball is here, present. We got a number of other council members who said that they may come as well. So if you got any questions for them, you can ask them too. Also, I have our attorney here, Mr. Russell. He's a city attorney, and he's been working with us closely with the ins and outs of this event. I guess I'll turn around and get in the front of this so folks can see. So the long story short is the mobile home park. And again, it's not a trailer park, it's a mobile home park, because trailer park is a bad connotation that goes with that. So what I've been trying to say is mobile home park. So if I mess up, y'all tell me mobile home park. All right. So since myself and Miss Ball got in office, and also Mr. Wilder, because Country Lane is in his district, we have been trying to get with the ownership about the issues at the mobile home park, at the park. And so we had a walkthrough about 2 years ago when we first got in office. We walked up and down physically, going in both of them and looking at, or at least one of them, and looking and seeing what's wrong, trying to get them to start fixing. So of course they started out doing a little something, and then they fell off and quit and didn't do anything. So throughout from 2020 to 2023, we've been talking to them and trying to figure out whatever it is that we can do to try to get this thing going. So that's a long time, 3 years to try to get some movement. And very little has happened in the last 3 years. Before we got in office as this administration, we had worked a long time before then with Mr. Mayor McKenzie and Mayor Gibson. And so the long and short of it is, we sent them a letter saying, hey, y'all need to get in compliance. There's a lot of things that you guys are violating. Y'all need to do it. And that got their attention. So they sent, and so before that, some of the things that we done, we did offer to try to purchase it. I know that was some of the things that the city owns it. The city does not own the trailer park or the mobile home park. The city does not. The reason the roads didn't get paid was because that's private property. So we can't pay private property. We let them know ahead of time that we was gonna pay, so that way if he wanted to get on a discounted rate, that might have been something to work. They didn't get back with us. But that's the reason why those areas are not paid. So I don't want nobody to think that we just skip their road. We can't pay private property. It's just like somebody's driveway. So we offered multiple offers to the owners of the Steel Investments, and they did not want to take any of our offers. So at the end of the day, we tried a couple of times. It took a long time to get some responses, even to the offers that we made. We offered, it's public, I don't really care. We offered $50,000 for both parks, but they didn't want to sell at that rate. And you guys know that it's going to take a lot of work to try to fix those parts up, and we wanted to make sure that if it was something we did, we had some kind of ability to pay it off at some point, because this is y'all taxpayer money that we were doing this stuff with. So we're trying to be good students of it, or stewards of it. So that being said, we had a meeting on about 3 weeks ago. It was about 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting with their new attorney, and their attorney was prepared that day to start delivering eviction notices and cancellations of leases for the properties that day, which to me wasn't a good option. And so we sat down and we talked and tried to get a better understanding to kind of give me one second, I'm gonna get hold the question. I want to lose my thought because I get a little sidetracked sometimes. So we talked to them. We told them because they had some fines that we were gonna potentially levy on them, and we told them, hey, if you're gonna work with us to try to get things right, then we'll work with you. That's kind of how we operate. Their plan is to sell the mobile home park. They want to sell it. And they're gonna sell it very quickly. They want to go ahead and try to unload the properties because they see it as a liability and not being able to recoup the financial investment that they got on it. They looking at it strictly as a financial move. They don't care about you staying there. Just being honest. And you wave if I need to shut up and say something because I'm saying something wrong. But long story short, the issues that they brought forth is, and I'm gonna be completely transparent, is that people weren't paying their rent. Now I know the understanding is that, hey, we're not gonna pay our rent because the place don't reflect what it needs to reflect, and I completely understand that. But from what the attorney told us, there were some that were 100 months, some that were 80 months, some that were 8, 9, 10 months out on their rent. And like I said, when that's between him and the tenant, that ain't got nothing to do with us. We just want you to fix the place up, and if it's somebody who's not doing what they need to do, take them on an individual basis is our suggestion instead of getting everybody. But then, like, long story short, what I open the floor for Carney, let Mr. Russell tell us if I fail to say something that I should have said. The long story short is we got a little time, a little lead time. I've been telling people that I know that have stayed there, if you know somewhere to get out of there, go ahead and get out because they looking to get rid of the place off their books. Like I said, from what we got, they want to move pretty fast to do that. We asked for some time, 30, 60 days or something like that, to kind of give us expansion. They do have some legal things that they got to do if they want to tell people to get off that the leases are terminated, because they claim that they're month-to-month leases that they have. So you're looking at anywhere from 30 to 90 days, 36 days, whatever the legal time frame is. My only 2 cents of it is, my suggestion, number one, and being realistic, the ownership is looking to sell. So if you know somebody who wants to purchase it, please let us know. We put some feelers out to some people. I did reach out to the nursing home because I heard that in the past that there was some interest there, and that is going to get presented to them. So maybe they may look at making that purchase. I don't know, or the ownership may make that purchase. I don't know. If you know of somebody who wants to make the investment, please, man, let us know. Facebook Live, you know somebody? Please, sir, please, man, let us know. The other side of it is I know it may seem like a futile effort, but if everybody pays their rent like they, according to them that they're not doing, then you have more power to say, hey, I'm paying, I want you to fix it. But when you're not paying, it's hard to tell somebody hard to make somebody fix it. From the research that I've done, trailer lot or mobile lots are about $250 in Tuscaloosa per lot. Columbus around the same, $200 or so. From what I understand, what they told us is $100 a month here in Adelsville for both of them. I think. So that's the gist of kind of what I got. And Mr. Russell, anything else?
Well, the only thing I would say is, and the mayor has pointed it out, and that is from the city's. Do I need to go up there?
Yeah, she's gonna turn. She turn.
From the city's perspective.
They don't want to be on live, so you turn. It's okay. You come on over there. That's fine. Y'all look like they did a whole one. Everybody just said.
Everybody's getting out of the way there. Well, the mayor has said it, and from the city's perspective, the lease of the property is between you and the private owner, okay? And the city is, we're just making sure that the private owner is doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it's been an ongoing process. I know my father did it a while back, and the process has really been, and y'all probably seen it, is there's been some piecemealing of what's been requested, meaning the roads were bad, and they bring some slag or something in, and they needed to do this, and they needed to do that. And so it's been an ongoing process between the owner of the property and the city. And what we have done recently, the mayor and myself, is we have made attempts to get up with the owner. This is not a time to just bash the owner. We've made good faith efforts, and I think to some degree they have as well. They've gotten an attorney, they've showed up, and so we're trying to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we did take some legal action from our end, which is ongoing, which we're negotiating, and you guys obviously are just tenants, so that doesn't need to be aired out exactly on what we're doing. But I guess from the city's perspective, we can tell you that we're taking action to make sure that the owners of the property are doing what they are supposed to be doing if they're going to run a mobile home park within the city. Because there's ordinances and there's regulations that need to be met from their perspective. So that's what we're doing on our end. And as the mayor said, and he shared, their lawyer had shared, the rent and the collection of the rent, that's between you and the owner of the property, okay? That's a civil matter between y'all. If they're going to initiate any type of civil action, it's not coming from the city. That's between y'all. That is a totally separate thing that's separate from the city. But from the city standpoint, what we are doing is we are taking some action to make sure that the mobile home owner is within the ordinance that is set up for the city of Alston. So, I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Right.
You're going to open the floor up.
Yeah, go ahead. Question.
Actually, you answered it, but I just follow up on it. So, with the back rents that he say people owe, how far can they go back on that?
No,
Do y'all have any
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's going to be part of an eviction process, and that's the thing is that's between you and the lease that you signed with the owner.
Okay.
And there are certain parameters and things that have to be done, and I don't know. That's between y'all, and the city doesn't have anything to do with that.
Okay, so you did make mention that since my rent is current,
Right.
so what can I do
Right.
personally?
So the people who have current rent, I would advise them to reach out directly. There's some things I tell you to do off camera, to bring some attention to the situation, because you have those who are paying have a vested interest, and you can turn around and say, "Hey, I paid."
Well, but that's going to be dictated between whatever contract and lease agreement, and of course, I keep going back to that. That's going to be between you and the owner,
Right.
and then they can take whatever legal action based on the lease agreement that was signed between y'all. And again, I don't know.
There are some of us that don't even have leases.
Right.
They just got a lease on my son last year,
Right.
but they're coming after me as though I'm still there.
Right.
But on paper, my son is there.
Well,
And we try to get in contact with them. They don't answer the phones. They do none of that.
Well, I'll give you the attorney's contact number for them. That I think that would be in order.
Well, and the truth is, again, I'm not deflecting the questions, but a lot of these that y'all are talking about are between you and the owner. And unfortunately, the city, I mean, we'll be glad to provide you the lawyer's information. You can contact him, but that's going to be a civil matter between you guys. And I think the mayor has called this meeting just to let you know that the city is taking some action. Now, a lot of the questions and a lot of the stuff that y'all are going to be talking about are going to be geared more between a civil matter between you and the owner, unfortunately. Okay.
Yeah.
And then like that question, that's going to be a question on who is the leaseholder and what's the terms of that lease, and again, the law provides remedies, but that's going to be something separate from what the city has any authority to deal with or do.
You had. Oh, she's talking about.
So you're saying how long were they gonna be before it they try to shut this down?
So we don't have any idea. We're going to continue to work with them as long as they're showing us good faith effort that they're trying to move in a positive direction. But I believe that they're trying to move as, like I said, quickly as possible, meaning within the next 30 to 60 days, they may be trying to do.
See, I'm asking because he's been contacting me.
Okay.
But he's still wanting rent money, but he's saying that he don't have no answers. So why are we paying rent money and we may have to jump up and leave, but you're calling him in to try to tell us something. But he, like I spoke with him today, he don't know nothing.
Well, and again, all I'm saying, and again, this meeting is because I probably got on the Thursday the 2nd, March the 2nd. I probably got about 10 calls or so between my phone and the city hall about what was going on, because this is Adamsville and word kind of travels fast.
Yeah.
So the long story short was the gentleman, I guess, had told some people, and then they went out and told some people, and then somebody knew the attorney was coming to meet with us. So long story short, I felt the need that we needed to get in front of this and tell you all what's going on, because we're the representative for the city, and let you know our position is we want the mobile home park to be within the code and roads corrected. I also want to let everybody know that we did not own the mobile home park, because there was a lot of word that the city owned the park. The city does not own the mobile home park. So I wanted that was the second thing I wanted to make abundantly clear. And the other thing I wanted to make clear was that we did make an offer to purchase the park, but they were not interested in what we wanted to give them for.
Right.
So
Y'all doing what we've been trying to do for years. And that's
Well,
what they're
the truth is the city thinks that the park is something that's good. I mean,
Yes.
there's citizens that are living in the park, and so the city's position, and even in our negotiations with them, has been that we want to protect our citizens, but on the flip side, we are somewhat limited in the sense on what we can do, because a municipality cannot control certain private landowners. Just like if you're renting a house from me, the city can't come in here unless I'm in violation of some type of city ordinance and tell me when I can evict you and when I can't. Okay? So I think the mayor is trying to put your mind at ease that our involvement is not, and our intention is not to kick everybody out. That's not what we're here to do. And the truth is, we can't prevent them from taking action to do that. That's well within their legal rights. Now, each one of you may or may not have a lease agreement. I don't know, but that's not something that the city would be involved in. So we are trying to negotiate with them, and in good faith. And again, their attorney has been open and honest with us, and we hope to get a resolution. We left it with the idea that a resolution was forthcoming. Now where that is at this point, I just don't know. So
does anybody, and I'm gonna cut the live off. That's all we have for live, and I'm gonna cut this off so that way we can, if somebody got some questions, they don't feel like putting it on. Thank y'all for tuning in. Stream.